Bhagavati Obijaya Society for calling us here and inviting us. Vaginal hysterectomy is not a new thing. Everybody sitting over here must be the master of that. So I would like that this session should be a little bit interactive so that we can know the opinion of each other. Hysterectomy is one of the common major gynecological operative procedure. The method of hysterectomy, vaginal, abdominal or laparoscopic, was once upon a time a matter of controversy. The CREST study included 1856 cases, women who underwent non-emergency, non-radical hysterectomy between 1978 to 1981, and fewer complications in the vaginal hysterectomy were noticed in that study, comparing with the other modalities. It is well established that the vaginal route is associated with fewer morbidities, lesser hospital stay and better patient satisfaction. Therefore, this method of hysterectomy should not be restricted to the conventional indication of uterovaginal prolapse. In the absence of prolapse, there are a few limitations to this method of hysterectomy, which include a large uterine size, multiparity, previous pelvic surgeries, LSCS, endometriosis and ovarian masses. It is well known that laparoscopic hysterectomy has its limitations. Higher cost, expensive instruments, longer learning curve, morbidities depending upon the surgeon's expertise, while the post-operative recovery is similar to vaginal hysterectomy. Vaginal hysterectomy is the approach of choice whenever feasible. Evidence demonstrates that it is associated with better outcomes when compared with other approaches of hysterectomy. This is a report of AICOG. We conclude that vaginal hysterectomy should be performed whenever possible. Cochrane is also commenting the same thing. When vaginal hysterectomy appears possible and surgeon is in doubt, it is desirable to schedule vaginal hysterectomy as a tentative one, or a trial of vaginal route should be given even if the surgeon is in doubt. This is what Dr. Shirish Sheth has given a special article in JOGI. There is a need to review limitations for non-descent vaginal hysterectomy and the feasibility of performing it without laparoscopic aid. Based on COVAX guidelines and determining the route of hysterectomy, parameters were selected for the scoring system to predict the chances of successful outcome of vaginal route of hysterectomy having no complication and no conversion. The following parameters were considered for formulating scoring system, that is accessibility of the uterus transvaginally, mobility, vaginal breadth at the apex, uterine size more than 12 weeks after morcellation, pathology confined to uterus, not confined to uterus, like adnexal masses and endometriosis, pelvic adhesions, puckering of the posterior vaginal wall at the cervicovaginal junction, mobility of the uterus, bladder adhesions due to previous cesarean sections. The scores have to be discussed because this is the important slide of all. Mobility of the uterus, if it is good, the score is 1. If it is restricted, the score is 6. Then narrow vagina, less than 2 fingers, more than 2 fingers is score 1 and less than 2 fingers is score 6. Uterine size more than 12 weeks, less than 12 weeks is 1, 12 to 16 weeks is 2, and 16 to 18 weeks is 3, and beyond that is 6. Endometriosis, absent 1, mild 2, and moderate 6. Here, this point is to be discussed little more, because to clinically establish the grade stage of endometriosis is not an easy job. What we need to do, at least to come to a little arbitrary correct level of understanding the stage, we have to do transvaginal sonography ourselves. Try to see the fat planes, try to see the mobility of the ovary, mobility of the uterus from the posterior, the pouch of Douglas and other things. Then evidence of adenomyosis, evidence of chocolate cyst, and if we find something else like tenderness and something, this thing, so that can give us, otherwise MRI and other things are there. But do we do MRI of everybody? Is it available? Then that is there. So in that way, mobility is the criteria which can also contribute to this thing. Then removal of adnexal masses, if not required, then 1. If required, but the size is not big, 2. If the size is above 6 centimeters, then below 6 centimeters, then 3, and above 6 centimeters is 6. Means whatever the mass you are going to remove. Previous LSCS known score is 1. If the 1 CS is done, their previous history, score 2, and more than 2 cesarean sections, then 6. Then pouch of Douglas, puckering if there, it is, if it is not there, score is 1, and if it is there, it is score is 6. Those patients who have got score less than 7, naturally our judgment is very easy that we can easily perform the vaginal hysterectomy, NDVH in this case. Score up to 12, that is 7 and 11, is also a possible one. 12 to 16 depends upon the experience of the surgeon, is moderately risky, and above 16 is high risk. Now, if we follow this and form an algorithm how to take the decision, alright, then we are likely to have lesser problems, lesser complications, and lesser conversions. And this algorithm is very useful, at least for the beginners. In this study, assessment of women requiring hysterectomy for benign conditions by scoring system help in deciding feasibility to perform NDVH and or need for laparoscopy where indicated. Application of this scoring system significantly decreased the complication rates and conversion rates from 2.1 to 0.2% women subjected to this method of scoring. Female pelvic organs have 2 portals of entry. One is vaginal and is the natural orifice, and other is surgically created, that is abdominal, and vaginal approach is the hallmark of the gynecological surgeon. The route of hysterectomy, gynecologists choose should not only benefit the patient but also represent a wise use of healthcare resources. There is no debate that abdominal hysterectomy or laparoscopy should be performed for severe diseases. However, opting for other methods of hysterectomy without assessing patients for NDVH is like opting for cesarean section without giving a fair chance for trial of normal delivery. NDVH score can be a good adjunct to the beginner in vaginal hysterectomy to avoid complications and gain confidence. As experience increases, contraindications for NDVH reduce. NDVH should be procedure of choice unless contraindicated. Most contraindications are more subjective than objective. Transvaginal natural orifice transluminal endoscopic surgery, that is a V-nodes, is a newer modality, and with this method, otherwise what we find difficult in performing vaginal hysterectomy can now be performed by V-nodes very easily. Recent world record of our own is of removing 2.465 kg, that is 2,465 grams uterus by V-nodes. Alright, means the thing which was not possible to be done by NDVH, means routine our conventional vaginal hysterectomy, was now possible because of V-nodes. Means with the advanced modalities, tomorrow, of course, those who are interested, tomorrow in the same hall at 1:30 there will be a presentation about